Well, this is a little different thing I got to do here. If you notice, I'm not in my usual garb. I'm doing this as a civilian, as Pete Chiarella, editor and owner of Grindhouse Resurrection. And that brings me to my point right about now. People have been asking about when Grindhouse Resurrection 3 is going to come out. Well, right about now, I think we're looking at November. And the reason for the delay is twofold. We have been trying, with no success, to get the magazine up on the internet. My girl Lorena spent a ton of man hours trying to reformat the whole thing and get it up there, only to have it put up on 8 internet platforms until Amazon rejected it. And when Amazon rejected it, it was like a fucking domino effect. Everybody took it off. Supposedly, I got emails from Drafted Digital telling me that this had to be not published. They wouldn't publish this thing. I never got these emails, neither did Lorena. So the bottom line was she kept on resubmitting it, and we finally got this thing that basically this magazine will not be published in any way, shape, or form. If I persist on pushing this, my account will be suspended, and I will no longer be allowed to print through Drafted Digital. Nice, right? It seems the sticking point was 3 nude photos in the magazine, which we could have blocked out, but we didn't even have the chance to do that. And you all know out there that I'm not into censoring myself. But this whole anti-sex thing, for lack of better words, has gotten out of hand. And it's not only regulated to Grindhouse Resurrection. A lot of guys are having a fucking problem getting shit published and getting it up on the internet. And our problem right now is we've been using a local printer in association with Midnight Magazine, Eric Wright and Angie Wright, that is. And they've gone through 3 printers, and we're on the 3rd printer. That printer may be going out. Which really sucks because I've been doing everything I can to push this magazine. Bob Borowski from Grindhouse Releasing has pushed it. Everybody who has read the magazine has nothing but good things to say about it. But the problem is, where issue 1, I had to have a second print run done of it because it was selling so well, issue 2 did not do that. And issue 2 was head and shoulders above issue 1 in terms of page content and stories and things like that. Why this is happening, I don't know. All I know is right now, everybody's getting fucking disgusted about this whole thing. And bear in mind that the reason things take time is because everybody but me actually works a real job. I'm fucking retired, for lack of better words. I mean, I try to do other things, but basically I'm the one with the most time on his hands, and other things happen. I've been doing this for over 30 years, entertaining people with whatever I'm doing here. Obviously, people are interested in what I do because this channel has over 1,500 subscribers. It's not a lot of subscribers, but 1,500 subscribers would really help buying 1,500 magazines, but that's not going to happen. And I've done everything I can to accommodate people overseas and stuff like that, trying to cut the price of the magazine, doing whatever I can to get this in the right hands. And again, like I said, everyone who's gotten it has liked it. And I know I got a certain amount of detractors out there. I know it. I already had an incident yesterday on Facebook when somebody was calling me, "Hey, dude, you know Rick Sullivan." I know I'm not Rick Sullivan. Rick's dead. Okay? Rick was a friend. I understand Rick. But Rick was not the end-all, be-all of anything, and neither am I. I'm just sharing knowledge. I'm sharing true events that happened to me, stories in New York, stories of liquidators. As far as other guys doing this, other guys that try to do this came into the scene on the 80s when it was pretty much all over and descending into madness with the crack and the AIDS and all the other shit. So I was there in the 70s, so it's a different viewpoint, but I digress. What I am trying to do is find a solution to the problem. And part of the problem is, and you're not going to believe this, that the word grindhouse right now is being associated with hardcore pornography. And there's also a reason for that, and I may be part of the problem on that too. eBay had decided about a year ago that they were no longer going to allow adults only stuff on there because they're a bunch of corporate motherfuckers, and they basically erased over 100,000 listings of this stuff. Obviously they were making money on it, and obviously the religious right or whatever the fuck, or the moral consciousness of this fucking stupid ass country got involved in it, and we couldn't sell the shit. So I can't say I came up with this first. I think it was Dave Naylor from Alpha Blue Archives. He started listing 16mm porn films as Grindhouse films. So I followed suit. I threw a bunch of 8mm loops up there as 8mm Grindhouse films. I threw some transgender DVD stuff up there sideways as transgendered Grindhouse DVDs, and it sold. That may have created a fucking problem, because it seems that certain websites are equating the word Grindhouse with porn, like I said, and that's going to be an issue. Now, it's a definite that number 3 will come out. After that, I have no idea. The problem we run into, and I don't do shows anymore, I'm not doing conventions anymore, sorry, but that has led to a lot of fucking problems for me on and off during the years with people with their stupid fucking egos and their petty jealousies that think I'm succeeding and I'm getting rich on this, when the bottom line is, I don't make shit off the fucking magazine. All right? And when you think of the man hours involved in putting this thing together and me writing all this other stuff and all the other guys that contribute, we're not making shit on this. That's what it comes down to. And my whole thing was, as long as it's a break-even point, I'll keep on doing it. And it's been a break-even point. But like I said, we're running out of time on this whole thing, and we're running out of ways to go. I talked to John last night for over an hour trying to think of how to go with this, but it's not only us. We're not the only ones getting screwed here. Gravely Unusual, Edwin Canfield's magazine, I believe, he just decided, fuck it, he threw in the towel, he can't get it published. That's the problem a lot of us are facing. And, you know, Amazon's the big fucking deal. Everybody thinks Amazon's the end-all be-all, but bottom line is they don't pay their fucking, artists. They wouldn't pay guys like me. I mean, I really don't want my stuff on Amazon. Fuck that shit. But the whole thing is, I need to get this thing printed. I got no problem sitting here filling orders all day, and it was a really wonderful thing that the people from HughesBox.com put up a website where I could sell the stuff, but that may be a moot point if I can't get product. And, this is the fucking situation here. And I hate to give it up. Like I said, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of man hours, but right about now, that's all I fucking got. And when you get to the age that I'm at, and things that you enjoy doing, you don't enjoy doing anymore because it's just not rewarding anymore. It's just, you're fucking basically pissing in the fucking wind, for lack of better words. This is how guys like me wind up fucking dead. When they got nothing to do and nowhere to go and wake up to nothing, then they're not around anymore. And it'll be like, oh, he was a good guy, I wish he did that. Well, I wish I did a lot of things, but the problem is, I know people like what I do. But honestly, dudes, you're getting free entertainment from me. I didn't monetize this fucking channel, because if I monetized it, it would have been watered down and not worth a shit. So I don't get nothing from doing this. And that becomes a fucking huge sticking point at times, because I'm having trouble paying my damn bills. I just found out that Boots isn't doing too good. I just had to take her to an emergency vet and drop another $500. And I hate to say this, I'm waiting for blood work, but it doesn't fucking look good. She's losing vision. She's acting weird, and I got to deal with that. That's a fucking priority. If I got to put one thing ahead of the other, the fucking dogs come before anything else, and that's always been like that. They come before my fucking health and welfare. So, and then, Eric brought up a very valid point, because he's still out there doing shows and bringing the magazine to shows and stuff. I mean, people pick it up, they flip through it, and they don't buy it for the lousy $10 it costs. But these same people will wander over like moths to a flame to all these boutique DVD companies and drop huge amounts of money on fucking movies that they already have, because they found 10 minutes of missing fucking footage, or some jerk-off did a fucking commentary that has nothing to do with anything. It's a sad situation. And, Midnight Magazine is a really fucking good magazine. So was Gravely Unusual. So were a lot of these fan-based magazines. But the problem is that they're not being acknowledged. They're not being sold. I mean, I'm still sitting here with, like I said, first magazine, I had to have a couple print runs done because it did so well. The second one, not so much. I still have stuff sitting here. Now, I'm really hoping that, I get some orders off the website, but since the website's been up, I've sold one magazine. So we're in a real dilemma here, and we really don't want to stop doing what we love to do. But if we're just going to sit here and be pissing in the wind and wasting our time and be sitting with a pile of magazines for our trouble, that ain't going to be worth it. And I can do this till hell freezes over. But again, I have to ask myself, what am I doing here? Really, what am I doing here? I enjoy doing it, but, and I know I've, helped some people through some really bad times. And this, in part, has kept my mind off a lot of things, like my mother's still in hospice, and now I got a sick dog, and my own health concerns. But after a while, you have to sit there and wonder, is it worth it anymore? Does anybody really give a fuck? And, I get some stupid ass fucking comments here and there. It's like, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? Number one, sometimes like I did with this Halloween thing, I taped a lot of stuff in advance. So if somebody dies in between me putting these things up, I really can't drop everything and just stop what I'm fucking doing and do a fucking tribute to them. I try to acknowledge people who passed as best I can, but sometimes these comments, I won't even respond to them because they're just fucking stupid. I mean, like I said, this is free. You're not paying for this. And you're not going to have to pay for this. But like I said, I have to come to some happy medium. So does John, and so do the other writers, and we're trying to figure out how to keep this going. But the bottom line is, if I don't come up with a fucking solution real quick, I may not be putting out a magazine anymore, which would be a shame, because I know how Grindhouse Purgatory went, and that magazine was over, and it went 20 issues, actually 21 issues when you think of it. But due to the fact that I've already addressed this, and I'm not going to go back there because my former publishers still take delight in bad-mouthing me and lying about me all over the internet, but you know something? Double fuck you both. And like I said, I want to keep this going, but there's got to be a fucking answer to what's going on here. There's got to be an answer to the problems, because I've done everything I can to keep this reasonable, with costs going up and everything else going up, with shipping and everything else. And I really feel that everybody involved in this magazine has done a great job, and it's really hard to, realize that, people are just so fed up and disgusted with the way they're treated and the way fans react to certain shit that they just want to say, something, fuck it. And I don't want to get to that point. So please don't make me get to that point, because I'm getting close to this. It's really disheartening and sad when, people tell you how great this shit is, but nobody wants to spend the fucking money on it. And, money isn't the really concern. Like I said, my concern is not losing money, breaking even, which I'm willing to do. But damn it, something's got to fucking shake loose here, because, like I said, the writers are getting a little disgruntled about it because the stuff ain't getting out there, and I can't rush the shit out. I'm sorry. I'm just a writer. I'm not a formatter. I don't know how to put a fucking magazine together. I wish the fuck I did, but I don't. And if everybody decides to walk away from this thing, it's going to be over. And there's no other way I can pursue this. I mean, yeah, I can post all this shit on my website, and again, it's just free fucking content. And, I got to have something at the end of the day for my fucking efforts. That's all it comes down to. I'm not asking for a lot, but I got to have something. And if I'm not worth something to people, then there's no point in 42nd Street Pete continuing to do this. There's no point in me trying to fucking, get this over and, have to deal with some of the stuff that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, which is basically blowing off people that attack me on Facebook and shit like that. So I just wanted to wrap this up, tell people what's going on, because people are asking me about the magazine. Writers are asking me, when's the copy going to come out? We're working on it. It's like I said, people have lives, and people, are really sort of like fed up about, the response to what we're doing and what they're doing too. I mean, Grindhouse Resurrection, people like it. Midnight's a great magazine. People who've got that like that too. Even the spin-offs like Strange World and stuff like that, people who've read it like it. But like I said, the problem is there's not enough people fucking liking it to make it worthwhile for certain people. And I'm going to try to keep mine going. I mean, if I got to find another printer, fine. It's just a question of, what are they going to allow to print? And if the fucking name Grindhouse is tainted, I got to change the fucking motif. And I'm sure I could put up, 42nd Street Pete and Friends Big Dumb Fun magazine, because Amazon would love that because it's non-offensive and shit like that, but that isn't what I want to do. And it isn't the way I want to work. I'm straightforward. I don't like censorship. I don't like fucking people talking down about the genre. And that's the way it is. So that's all I got to say. If anybody's got any concrete ideas the way I can do something or something like that, please don't hit me with a bunch of tech shit. You know, you can get a hold of John at gutmunchers@gmail.com, run shit by him. You can run shit by me and I can pass it over to him. But when you get into tech stuff, just remember, I am not a tech guy. And I've already explained the problem that's in my head. Okay, so please, don't tell me I can learn this shit. Don't tell me how easy it is, but it's not. I doubt that there's any of you out there that could put a fucking transmission in a 1977 GTO, but I probably still could. So equate it to that. There's a lot of shit that I know how to do that you don't know how to do, and as far as tech stuff goes, 90% of you out there know a shitload more than I do, but like I said, I'm tech challenged. So that's all I got to say. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening to this. And again, if anybody has any concrete ideas, please let us know.